Hello, everybody, and greetings from Stockholm. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person or even in real time, but I guess we're getting used to this new way of doing things. I'm actually walking through the old town here on my way to the university. And what I'll do instead today is take you on a little detour and show you a couple of other favorite spots in Stockholm, including the old city hall and a new area that's been developed recently called St. Eric's Quarter. But first, we'll go through Gamla, which is one of my favorite areas in Stockholm or anywhere, really, and we'll explore that area. So I'm walking across the bridge from Södermalm, which is one of the larger islands in the Stockholm archipelago, to Gamla, which is the original island where the city was formed. And Gamla means old city, and it's certainly one of the most beautiful parts of the city, one of the most beautiful places in Europe, I think. And I'll take you through. Let's go. This is the Järntorget, one of the squares in Gamla. By the way, this is the way I walk to work every day whenever I can. It's a very beautiful path, as you can see. This is Den Gyldene Freden, or the Golden Peace, which is believed to be the oldest continuously operating restaurant in Europe. And it's currently owned by the Swedish Academy, and it's a common gathering spot for scientists and artists in the area. This is one of my favorite squares. It's called Branda Tomten, which means burnt lot or burnt plot. And the building that was here burned down in the 18th century and was never rebuilt, leaving this wonderful square, which now has this beautiful chestnut tree in it. And the restaurant that adjoins it is called Under Kastanjen, which means under the chestnut tree. Very beautiful spot to have a meal. This is the very beautiful area where I started the video, Köpmantorget. I'll show you a little bit of this area. This is St. George and the Dragon. It's a 1912 copy of an original 1489 wooden sculpture that was in the main church. Note this butterfly ramp, which I love. I've seen this in a number of cases, and it creates a wonderful sort of spatial layering up and down and approaching different vistas, looking over, looking up, and so on. Quite beautiful. This is Samfundet Sankt Erik, or St. Eric's Society. It was the agency that restored Gamla in the 1930s at a time when the neighborhood was derelict and in great danger of being demolished. And they've done wonderful work and still are doing wonderful work here. This is the Stortorget, the oldest square in Stockholm, the heart of the medieval city. I'm actually on the steps of the Nobel Museum, where they used to give the Nobel Prizes. As you can see, this is a favorite spot to grab a bite for obvious reasons. And I'm not the only one that wants to get a bite. Now, coming up on the north end of Gamla, we come to the Royal Palace, the Stockholm Palace. There's a wonderful view down to the harbor and the waterfront. Now we are on another island called Riddarholmen, or Nobility Islet, and this is where a number of government functions still take place. And as you can see, it's a very beautiful place indeed. This is the Riddarholmen Church, the oldest preserved building in the city, built in 1290, and very distinctive on the skyline, as you might recognize. You're looking across the water, by the way, to Södermalm to the south, which is where we started the walking tour. You'll notice that the banks are quite high on that side and on the north side, which made this a very easy place to defend and a very logical place to found a city back when Stockholm was first founded. One of the many boat hotels and boat restaurants that line the harbor in this area. Across the water is the Stockholm City Hall, a very beautiful building. This is where the Nobel reception is held every year. We're going to take a little ferry ride across the water. So as some of you know, this building was completed in 1923 by the architect Ragnar Östberg, and as such it is a 20th century building. Here is the so-called Blue Hall during the KTH graduation ceremony last December, and this is also the space used for the Nobel Prize banquet ceremony.
Richard, Florida.
Tamar, and myself, the 3 honorary doctors. I want to say what an honor.
Here are some of the mosaics in the Golden Hall, really wonderful. And the whole building is a fantastic place to come and visit. And it reminds us that the early 20th century was really an incredible period of diversity in many different kinds of traditional architecture, something we forget about today because it was all snuffed out, of course, in the 1930s. And it's not just architecture, but urbanism too. Now we're on Kungsholmen Island, which had been an industrial area originally, but then was redeveloped in the early 20th century, adding many new residential neighborhoods, as well as some of the beautiful public buildings. This is a new area of Stockholm, about 20 years old, known as St. Erik's Quarter. I'll take you around very briefly. As you can see, this is a very beautiful area of new traditional architecture built in the 1990s and very urban, very bike friendly, excellent transit, walkable, mixed use. And a very beautiful park in the center with apartments built around it. Beautiful little chapel that was here originally, St. Eric's Chapel. So for the last bit of the tour, I'll take you the way I usually go every day on my way to the university where my office is located, and I'll show you a couple of the other areas of the city along the way. Not all buildings in Stockholm are beautiful traditional structures. This modern shopping mall was built in a demolished area of Stockholm that had been quite beautiful originally. This is what the area looked like before, a model in the wonderful Stockholm Museum collection. A very nice place to visit when you come to Stockholm. This is another extraordinarily ugly area for my money, the Sergelstorg, the heart of Stockholm. There are many stores and restaurants and things to do here, but they're all inward turning. The outdoor public space leaves a lot to be desired, as you can see. This is the Stockholm Concert Hall where the Nobel Prize is awarded every year. The reception is in the City Hall, but the prize itself is awarded here. As you can see, there's a wonderful market here in the square outside of the concert hall. You can see that it's mushroom season. There are many delicious mushrooms out for sale right now. Chanterelle mushrooms, and these are Swedish lingonberries. So here we are at KTH University where my office is located, and the end of our walking tour. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see many of you next summer at the INTBAU Norway conference. INTBAU Sweden is a partner in that conference as well, and we hope to see many of you there.